When the Indus cities ended, writing disappeared from South Asia for 1500 years. Not weakened, not simplified, gone. A civilization of 1,000,000 square kilometers had been stamping seals, cutting standard weights and marking goods with 400 signs. And then the whole apparatus stops, and nothing replaces it for a millennium and a half. But here is the part that makes this a survival story and not an extinction. The people did not go anywhere. They were farming the same valleys the entire time. So what actually survived the Indus, and what did it take with it into the ground? Start with the thing the disaster stories get wrong. There is no population collapse in the archaeology. What follows the cities is not empty ground, it is villages. Archaeologists have names for these successor cultures. Cemetery H in the Punjab, Jukar in Sindh, late Harappan communities across Gujarat. Same regions, same fields. The pottery changes, the settlements shrink, the cities are gone, but the farming does not stop. The cattle do not stop. The potters and bead makers keep working. Look at what that actually means on the ground. The great civic works stop. Nobody is maintaining a covered sewer for a village of 200, but the kiln still fires. The loom still runs. The knowledge that lived in households and workshops survives. The knowledge that lived in institutions does not. This is a civilization that lost its cities and kept its people. That is a rarer outcome than it sounds. So what came through? Start with something you are probably wearing. Cotton. The Indus region holds some of the earliest evidence anywhere of cultivated cotton and cotton thread, mineralized fibers from Mayagar thousands of years before the cities, and cotton at Mohenjo-Daro itself. That thread never breaks. Cotton textiles become the export South Asia is known for the next 4,000 years, straight through to the trade that would one day draw European ships. The bead makers carried through too. The long carnelian beads, the etched white patterns, the specialized stone drills. Boring a hole lengthwise through a hard carnelian bead is days of work with stone tools, and the technique is specific enough that archaeologists can track it across centuries. It outlives the cities that perfected it, and the animals. The humped zebu cattle and the water buffalo of the Indus farms are still the foundation of agriculture across the subcontinent today. Now the part where most documentaries start inventing, because there is a very tempting story here, that the Indus flows unbroken into later India, that its gods are the gods that came after. You will see one seal offered as proof, a seated horned figure surrounded by animals, which Marshall in 1931 called a proto-Shiva. It is a striking object. It is also an interpretation, and it has been disputed for most of a century. The same goes for the fire altars claimed at Kalibangan, and for the seals read as yoga postures. These are readings of images by people who already know what they are hoping to find. The honest position is the uncomfortable one. We cannot read the script, so we cannot read the religion. There is a subtler version of the same temptation, and it catches careful people too. Some scholars argue that Harappan weight ratios echo in later South Asian measuring systems. It may be right. It is also exactly the kind of pattern that appears when you go looking for it in numbers. So we file it where it belongs, argued, not settled. What survived in craft and farming is visible in the ground. What survived in belief is not. Which brings us back to the strangest inheritance of all, the one that is an absence. After the Indus script stops, there is no writing in South Asia for 15 centuries. The next attested scripts, Brahmi and Kharosthi, appear around the 3rd century BC on the edicts of Ashoka. And here is what matters. Nobody has shown that Brahmi descends from the Indus script. The mainstream view derives it from Aramaic, carried east through Persian administration. A minority argues for indigenous origins. Neither case bridges the 1500-year gap with evidence. So the most likely reading is the bleakest one. The Indus script did not evolve into anything. It ended. Sit with the scale of that. 1,500 years is roughly the distance between us and the fall of the Western Roman Empire. An entire civilization's worth of history happened in South Asia. Inside that silence, kingdoms, migrations, the composition of enormous bodies of oral literature. And none of it was written down as it happened, because nobody in the subcontinent could write. South Asia learned to write, forgot how, and then learned again from scratch from somewhere else. And the cities, they stayed gone. When great cities rise again in South Asia, the second urbanization of the Ganges Plain, it is around 1000 to 600 BC, roughly a millennium after Mohenjo-Daro empties. Those cities are not Indus cities rebuilt. Different region, different layout, different technology, no grid, no shared standard, no seals. Whatever the Indus knew about running a city of 40,000 people with covered drains and universal brick sizes, that knowledge did not transfer. It had to be reinvented by people with no memory of it. The most sophisticated urban system of its age left no manual. And then the strangest chapter of all, everyone forgot. Not gradually, completely. For something like 3,500 years, farmers plowed fields beside enormous mounds without knowing what they were. In 1856, British engineers building a railway across the Punjab needed hard rubble for the track bed. Local workers led them to a ruined mound full of excellent ancient brick. They crushed it and laid nearly 100 miles of railway on the bones of Harappa. Nobody involved had any idea. The largest civilization of the ancient world was, at that point, road metal. It took until the 1920s for the mounds to be recognized for what they were. And suddenly, the map of the ancient world had a third great civilization on it, larger than the other two combined. And it arrived with its own terms. Egypt gave us kings. Mesopotamia gave us kings. The Indus gave us a working city of 40,000 with no palace anyone has found, no royal tomb, no monument to a conqueror, and standard weights from the mountains to the sea. Whatever ran it, it does not look like the model we assumed civilization required. That is the real inheritance, not a god or an alphabet, but a counterexample. Let us be precise about the size of our ignorance because it is the honest end of this saga. We do not know what they called themselves. We do not know what language they spoke. We cannot read a single line they wrote, and we are not fully certain their writing was writing. We do not know who governed, or whether anyone did in the way we mean it. We do not know why the writing stopped instead of simply changing. Scripts usually bend and simplify when the society using them shrinks. This one just ceased. And we do not know with a single accepted cause why it ended, only that the rains weakened, the rivers moved, the trade went quiet, and a system with a very high floor could not run at half scale. 4 chapters, and the biggest of them all remains the one we understand least. Here is what the Indus finally handed us. Every other ancient civilization survives partly because it told us about itself, Egypt in its tombs, Mesopotamia in its tablets, Greece in its poems. The Indus left no self-portrait it could narrate. It left objects. A bronze girl with her hand on her hip. A brick, 4 to 2 to 1, repeated in the millions. A seal with an animal and a line of signs, pressed into clay by someone doing their job. And because it never got to explain itself, it comes to us the way almost nothing ancient does, as evidence rather than story, argued over rather than recited. Its people never vanished. They are ancestors of a fifth of the human race. Only the thing they built together went quiet, the standard, the writing, the plumbed and gridded city. It did not fall to anyone. It was set down and never picked up. And it waited under the fields for 3,500 years for us to notice. This has been the Indus Valley. This is Terminus.